Indirect people are slower paced. Direct people, faster paced. Now, when I say slower and faster, I'm talking about the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they make decisions, the way they do things in general. Indirect people, slower. Direct people, faster. Indirect people, less assertive. Direct people, more assertive. Indirect people, more patient. Direct people, impatient. When it comes to risks, decisions, or change, indirect people approach all three more slowly, cautiously, and methodically, because indirect people have a tremendous inner driving need not to be wrong. And as a result, they tend to check, double check, think about it, sleep on it, do their homework, their research, their due diligence, because they don't want to be wrong. Direct people, when it comes to risks, decisions, and change, they approach all three more quickly, decisively, sometimes even spontaneously, because their inner driving need is to accomplish and achieve as much as possible, get it over with, what's next? I will tell you, when they work together, they can drive each other crazy. Indirect people want to do things just right. Direct people, it's good enough. When it comes to rules, indirect people follow rules according to the letter of the law. Direct people follow rules according to the spirit of their interpretation. I love to watch people. That's where I get some of my great stories, just simply watching people in public places especially. And for instance, checking into, let's say, a hotel, or in a bank line, or in an airline queue trying to check in. It really is amazing. I was watching this particular situation in a bank, and everybody's in this line, and they have one teller open, and yet there are two other tellers. I don't know what they're doing. They're sitting there. So I'm watching a direct person and an indirect person come to the end of the line. Let me tell you, nobody likes lines, but they handle it very different. An indirect person walks to the end of the line like this, a little slower, a little bit more reserved. They go like this. I don't believe this. My lunch hour. I got to be back in 15 minutes. 12, 14. I'm number 16. If they take even 1 minute a person, I won't be back to work on time. I just can't understand it. Why would they have, during lunchtime, one window open? And there are two people right there doing nothing. I just cannot believe this. But everything is to themselves. It's like self-talk, right? But they are talking. Of course, a direct person, would they handle that differently? What do you think? Direct person, you can see just by the pace, right? They're walking like this. Oh no, I don't believe this. Look at this. There must be 20 people in line here. I got 15 minutes. I got to be back at work. And then start looking at other people. Do you believe this? Do you believe that they have one person? No wonder why this bank is not profitable. I can't. What? There's two other tellers? Where? Hey, what are you two doing over there? Open up. How about risk? You'll like this one. Years ago, I was partners with somebody in a business. And he was at one end of the scale, and I'm at the other end of the scale. I won't tell you which end I'm at here, direct or indirect. You'll have to guess that. But we would go to our CPA to file our corporate income taxes. He's a risk avoider. I'm a risk taker. And we would always start it off by, bringing in all our records and everything. He's the one who kept the records, all organized. He would say to our CPA, Ed, if there's a 1% chance that the IRS would disallow this deduction, I don't want to take it. Then Ed would look at me. Hey, Ed, if there's a 1% chance I can justify it, put it down. So, where would you put yourself on this scale? Most of the time with most people, would you say you're more indirect, an A or a B, or more direct, a C or a D? Pick a letter that you believe reflects your pattern of behavior most of the time with most people. How many of you chose as your number a 1 or a 2 combined with a C or a D? Can I see your hands, please? A 1 or a 2 combined with a C or a D. All right, your style is what we call the director. I'll tell you something about yourself in just a minute. Hold on, 1 minute. How many of you, a 3 or a 4 combined with a C or a D? Can I see your hands, please? All right, our socializers, party on. Yeah, party on. Hey, how about a 3 or a 4, but an A or a B? Can I see your hands, please? Our relators. How you doing, Sue? Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Having a good time? Great. And how about a 1 or a 2 combined with an A or a B? Can I see your hands, please? Our thinkers. Now, they raise their hands a little slower because all the facts aren't in yet. They're still analyzing this. Jury's out. All right. Let me give you a quick CNN overview of each of the 4 styles so that you can get a good feel of what each style is like if you are, in fact, that style. But, even more importantly, get a good feel for each style if you have to work or live with that style. Because all of us, every single one of us, comes across each of these 4 styles, possibly every day. So we need to understand what makes them tick. One more time, where are my directors? Directors. All right, their key desire, results, bottom line, their motto. I want it done right, I want it done now, or better yet, I want it done when? Yesterday. They're in a hurry for everything. Tend to juggle a lot of things at the same time and do them well. They're great administrators, delegators. They work best under pressure, under deadlines, and they play to win. Another motto for directors, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. You will rarely, if ever, see a director playing a game for funsies. Oh, let's not keep score. Yeah, forget about it. I'll tell you this. They always want to know, what's the score? What do they have? How much far ahead are we? How behind? I mean, they're always competing. I will tell you this, of all 4 styles, directors are the weakest listeners. Now, let me repeat that for them. Directors are the weakest listeners, but there's a reason. They don't have time, and they already know the answer. Why listen? Let's talk a little bit about what directors do best. 3 simple things. They create a sense of urgency for everything and everyone around them to come to closure on things. They figure out what needs to be done, and they either delegate it or do it. But even when they delegate it, they're looking over your shoulder. Hey, no, that's not the way to do it. But I'll tell you this. They are great at ensuring bottom line results. They get things done. Now, what's their problem? What's hard for them? They don't like to do things over and over again. When something has to be done over and over again, that's what they delegate to people. They don't like a lot of rules and regulations because that kind of hems them in. And they're not very good at being diplomatic. They tend to come across as blunt. Where are my thinkers? Thinkers. All right, their key desire, order, accuracy, precision, perfection. Their motto, everything in its place and a place for everything. Their patron saint, Sergeant Joe Friday from Dragnet. Just the facts. Just the facts. They're the great planners, problem solvers, organizers. They're great at creating systems. They're highly inventive people. And of all 4 styles, arguably the most intellectual. Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Einstein, thinkers. So I'll tell you this, without a doubt and without a hesitation, if you really need something done right, give it to a thinker. But if you need something done on time, think again. Because they procrastinate until it's what? Perfect. So let's talk about what they do best. What they do best is organize things. They fine-tune things until it's perfect, and they're great at planning. What's hard for them is working with people who are unpredictable or working in environments that are disorganized. They do not like that. They don't like incomplete or unclear directions, or they don't like questions that don't have an absolute correct answer. That's why you seldom will see them in the social sciences. You'll see them in the exact sciences. Who are my relators? Relators. Their key desire? Harmony. Safety, security, close one-to-one relationships. Do you feel me? They are the true people, one-on-one people, loyal, reliable, team players. The glue that holds a team or a relationship together. Show me a marriage where one of the spouses is a relator, and I will show you a long marriage. Not necessarily happy, but long. I'll tell you this, by far the best listeners, because they have so much empathy. When you're excited, they get excited about it. When you're upset, they cry with you, or even for you. Problem area is relators do not like conflict. They do not like to rock the boat. And as a result, they tend to go along with things even when they really don't want to, because they don't want to upset the apple cart, so to speak. But let me tell you something, even when they go along with something, and on the outside it looks like they're in agreement, inside they're not. They resent you for even asking. They won't tell you, but when they get out of your sight, they'll pull out their little book, turn to the page with your name on it, and add yet another check mark. What do they do well? Well, I already said harmony. They are great at harmony. They're natural facilitators, especially in groups, and they're great at any type of coordinating and cooperating with others. But what's difficult for them, what's hard for them, is competition. They hate competition. They hate working with dictatorial people. And they do not like even constructive feedback. See, constructive feedback sometimes comes across to them as criticism. Now, they may see it as positive criticism, but it's criticism nonetheless. Socializers, their key desire, fun, excitement, applause, visibility, recognition. And as a result, they talk a lot about their favorite subject, themselves. Generally speaking, socializers are generally speaking. They have the gift of gab, the power of persuasion, the ability to get other people more excited about their ideas than even they are themselves. The only group who could win an argument not knowing what they're talking about. Tell you what they're not good at, details. Why? What is this crossing a T and dotting an I? Who cares about T's and I's? As long as it's close enough, that's all that matters. What do they do best? They're very inspirational people. They get people excited, upbeat about things. They think fast on their feet. And they're great at promoting things. They're great promoters. A problem area for them, what's hard for them, is basically any type of restriction, any type of routine. They do not like to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. They don't like formal reports. Hey, you want me to go out and do my job, or do you want me to do a report? I can't do both. And they don't like to redo something once it's already been done.
I am driven by an inner need to be in charge. I focus on achieving, overcoming obstacles, and accomplishing things.
Because I feel so strongly about winning, I'm not afraid to challenge people or rules which seem to stand in my way.
I'm independent and very competitive. I demand and get results. I'm more interested in meeting my goals than pleasing people. Down deep, I know I could get better, faster results if only I could get people out of the way.
Others are impressed by my energy level, decisiveness, and ability to quickly figure out what needs to be done, and then just do it.
Just tell me what the goal is, what my options are, and what the bottom line is.
I like change, and I initiate it. I'm not afraid of risk. I tend to work quickly by myself, juggling multiple tasks. I'm very much into gadgets that promote efficiency.
I'm frequently frustrated when others aren't as able or motivated as I am, and I'm not good at hiding that frustration. I sometimes take myself too seriously and can benefit from gentle reminders to laugh at myself or to slow down and take time to smell the flowers.
I'm not into praise. About the only time you'll hear me say, "well done," is when I'm ordering a steak.
I am driven by an inner need to be in charge. I focus on achieving, overcoming obstacles, and accomplishing things.
Because I feel so strongly about winning, I'm not afraid to challenge people or rules which seem to stand in my way.
I'm independent and very competitive. I demand and get results. I'm more interested in meeting my goals than pleasing people. Down deep, I know I could get better, faster results if only I could get people out of the way.
Others are impressed by my energy level, decisiveness, and ability to quickly figure out what needs to be done, and then just do it.
Just tell me what the goal is, what my options are, and what the bottom line is.
I like change, and I initiate it. I'm not afraid of risk. I tend to work quickly by myself, juggling multiple tasks. I'm very much into gadgets that promote efficiency.
I'm frequently frustrated when others aren't as able or motivated as I am, and I'm not good at hiding that frustration. I sometimes take myself too seriously and can benefit from gentle reminders to laugh at myself or to slow down and take time to smell the flowers.
I'm not into praise. About the only time you'll hear me say, "well done," is when I'm ordering a steak.
I'm a serious, analytical person with long-range goals. I seek efficiency, logic, and accuracy. I even like doing term papers in school.
Accurate, dependable, and independent. I am thorough and well organized. I pride myself on being meticulous. I want to know in detail how things work so that I can carefully and objectively evaluate any problem.
Precisely. I prefer to plan everything, even spontaneity. I even make notes about possible small talk topics before going to office cocktail parties.
I try to avoid embarrassment by controlling myself and my environment. I try to keep my distance from huggers and touchers. Though possibly considered a bit standoffish, I'm very close to my few key friends.
I generally prefer tasks over people, but I'm patient, cautious, and thorough, sometimes to a fault. The fact is, I can be nitpicking perfectionist. Paralysis by overanalysis can result, especially under pressure. I'm often seen as demanding and picky. One of my greatest irritations is disorganized, illogical people.
I want to be sure I have all the relevant facts before giving my opinion. Once I am ready to decide an issue, human emotions are not as important as weighing all the factors and making the most logical, rational, and thus most correct decision.
And I will make a decision, but only after having determined the specific risks, margin for error, and fallback positions.
When I feel I've mastered all the facts or thought something through to its bedrock conclusion, I can be hard to budge. Having decided I'd like nothing more than to be praised for my thoroughness.